bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. It's great to have you with us. Topping the news tonight, a vacation to Grand Bahama turned tragic today as a visitor drowned in waters off Lucaya. Reports say the man was on a snorkeling expedition with UNEXO when he reportedly developed complications and returned to the surface. CPR was administered by persons on the expedition, but they weren't able to revive him. Reports say he arrived at the hospital in an unresponsive state and was pronounced dead a short time later. Investigations are underway. Meanwhile, human skeletal remains discovered in bushes in the Heritage Subdivision area here on Grand Bahama. The apparent discovery was made around 10 o'clock this morning. Police say the human remains may have been at that location for an extended period of time, and they are asking anyone with a missing relative to come forward as they seek to put a name to the human remains. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Investigations are continuing. In other news, a fire in the Hawksbill community has left thousands of dollars in damage. Residents and business owners from the area were battling the blaze for several hours yesterday with help from the industrial sector. Tonight, as Shashina Roll reports, this latest incident has residents renewing the appeal for the proper firefighting equipment on Grand Bahama before a major incident occurs.
It all started as a brush fire that destroyed a trailer with building materials worth thousands of dollars. But then that fire turned into a blazing inferno, coming dangerously close to these local businesses. Thick black smoke made visibility particularly difficult for motorists along the West Sunrise Highway, while residents and business owners looked on as the black smoke moved towards the rear of the Hawksbill service station and the nearby plaza. Michael Russell, a pump attendant, says the fire started around 11 Tuesday morning, and by 1 p.m. it was out of control. Aware of the serious threat facing that community, he was outfitted in firefighter's gear and assisted in putting out the blaze.
I did saw the fire was blazing, and after that, one of the firefighters come to ask me if I could help them, so I just give them a hand.
How long did it take for them to come?
Hour and a half.
Concerned residents say there was only one fire truck from the local fire department on the scene, and private companies with fire equipment had to jump in to assist. Reports indicate that the heat could be felt some 75 feet away. Hawksbill resident Samuel Taylor watched in awe as the situation unfolded.
All the commercial building in Hawksbill that support the whole of Hawksbill is now, all the bushes on the edge of this building are on fire. Some of the structure, not the building construction, but some of the trailers and some of the yards are on fire. The gas station is right there. The tire shop, all the tires in back of the tire shop is on fire. And we only have one fire truck in Grand Bahama in 2013.
But the fire didn't stop until it did its fair share of damage. A trailer with thousands of dollars of goods was destroyed. Former Senator Michael Pintard, and tenant of one of the buildings, says such incidents have become common on Grand Bahama, and while he calls this incident unfortunate, he says it could have been worse.
This is not a matter that should have taken this long under the previous administration or this administration. And so I'm sad, and I'm encouraging residents of Grand Bahama to say enough is enough. We have to move swiftly to protect homes and businesses.
While the local fire department did the best with what they had, these residents are making this impassioned appeal.
Something needs to be done about that. The people of Grand Bahama is not going to sit down and tolerate such nonsense. We need fire trucks in Grand Bahama. We have firemen in Grand Bahama, no trucks to wait.
I'm calling on government officials in conjunction with the port authorities to move swiftly with the business community so that we can go ahead and address this issue. And I thank God that we had some of the industrial companies, HPH, who had one of their vehicles that was available and helped, and Borco, who also got involved.
Now, fire officials are still investigating the cause of that fire. ZNS News has been reliably informed that a new fire truck has been ordered for Grand Bahama, and the construction of a new fire station has been placed on the fast track. Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Sheena. Now, those who work at the Hawksbill Mini Mall are grateful that the fire didn't cause serious damage to that establishment. They returned to work today, elated that the fire is no longer a threat to businesses in that area. Megan Shepard has that story.
Fire started from the the trailer in the back there, then keep on spreading down, and we tried to out the fire from behind the bush, and the fire truck coming to help us out the fire. Then over there, the black smoke started up to burn the tires, then we had to out that.
Employees in the Hawksbill Mini Mall say the major brush fire began on Monday, but it didn't threaten the plaza until Tuesday evening. The blaze made its way behind the building where a trailer caught on fire, and then the blaze made its way across the street behind the gas station.
We had smoke from like 2 days ago, like day before yesterday, but we didn't know how bad it was, and we didn't know exactly where the smoke was coming from or where the fire was until it started to get really bad. And then we realized it was coming from in the back of the building where the tire shop is in there. The tires was burning and it was, smoke, very smoky, and we just had to hurry up, get out of there, close the building.
Yesterday when I left, it was just a lot of smoke. And then when my son came home, he said, "Mommy, the fire's at your building where you work. So the tires is already caught."
Employees say the smoke became unbearable during the morning, creating an unhealthy situation. They say that during the night they were worried about the fire and what they would return to this morning.
It was a little panic because all the smoke was going over the building. It was really bad.
Thank God I have a job this morning because I was afraid that the building might catch a fire and would have been out of a job.
After everything, we just have to give God thanks and just keep continually praying that in these kind of matters, we just come together and work together more often and, do the best we can.
Keisha Lang Burnett says she was so concerned that she stayed back several hours and watched as persons attempted to get the blaze under control. She is thanking several groups for their efforts and success in controlling the brush fire.
I was really applauded with the worker at the gas station because he was helping the fire truck, and I think it was Container Port. They had brought their fire trucks over also, and they were working diligently with getting the fire out, and it was a good team effort.
The brush fire is now under control, but pockets of fire and smoke still linger in the area. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Now, fire officials are still investigating the cause of that blaze. Once again, ZNS News has learned that additional fire trucks have been ordered for the Grand Bahama Fire Department, and the construction of a new fire station has been placed on the fast track. In other news, the Department of Immigration cracking down on illegal migrants. Today, some 17 migrants, 10 Brazilians and 7 nationals from Ecuador were transported to New Providence for processing and deportation. The group included a baby that was born here in the Bahamas. The Ecuadorians were arrested yesterday. The Brazilians were found in a hotel in the Midshipman Road area on Monday. Police say officers of the Marine Division were on patrol in waters off Lucaya near Bell Channel when they came upon a yellow 20-foot Cabera vessel with 2 men on board. The migrants were eventually found at a hotel in the area. The downturn in the global economy has taken a toll on local businesses, but tonight one leading government program is boasting of the support of the local business community as it attempts to positively impact the lives of Bahamians. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
Corporate Grand Bahama playing a significant role in the success of one of the government's leading social initiatives. Despite the challenging economic times, some companies have made an investment in urban renewal. Among the corporate sponsors is master builder and president of ABC Construction, Wolfgang Giger.
Strictly is doing a good job together with the police, and she's really behind this program, and she works hard to accomplish the goal. If you have this program really in full swing and you patrol also the areas where you have probably now higher crime rates, this could come down if you get these people back to work, if you get people in proper housing. This will, in my opinion, impact also the crime rate. Special in Nassau, probably not in Freeport so much, but in Nassau something needs to be done immediately, because this will also affect the tourist industry. If you have problems there, the tourists, they will not come because they're looking for a safe place and not for a dangerous place.
Leon Duke Investments has been another supporter of the social program. CEO Samuel Bevins says it's just their way of giving back.
We all play a part in this great community, and any way I can help, I will help. Anytime they need me, they can just give me a call. I'll be here to lend a helping hand, give my time, my goods, anything. I just want to see them do well. It's a good cause.
Deputy Director of Urban Renewal Michelle Reckley says she's elated to see the level of concern and support from corporate Grand Bahama.
Every case in this first year that we brought to the public awareness, corporate Grand Bahama has came to our rescue by giving those families transformation of homes, giving them coupons to buy food. And I just want to list some of the persons. Statoil has been very, very kind and good to us. Elnet, Mr. Ellie Hepburn, has been an excellent donor. Island Bedding has come to our rescue. And of course, Course-Right is always there to lend a hand with supplying the persons with the basic food of life. And then it's just so many others. It is so many others, and we are so, so grateful to them because we cannot do it without you.
The businessmen are appealing to corporate Grand Bahama to join hands with Urban Renewal as they continue to help those Bahamians in dire straits.
I basically appeal to everybody, first of all, of course, to the business community, but also to private people. They can afford to donate some money and keep this program up and running.
The entire Bahamas, whether it's in Grand Bahama, Inagua, anywhere, we all must come together as a nation.
Come together in support of this award-winning initiative. Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
The Bahamas is represented at the 7th biannual meeting of the Commonwealth Local Government Association in Kampala, Uganda. The conference opened yesterday with an address from the president of the host country, as well as the leader of Sri Lanka. Local Government Minister, the Honorable V. Alfred Gray, is heading a 17-member team from the Bahamas. He says the party is looking at ways to bring local government closer to the heart of the people. We spoke with Minister Gray by telephone late yesterday.
I'm really hoping that after the conference, the practitioners who attended from the Bahamas would certainly feel the need to ensure that those services which they render to their various communities in the Bahamas would be enhanced, and of course it will bring to life those for which local government stands and was in fact born in 1996, and that is to say that the people of our country deserve the best services which they could render as elected officials.
The Commonwealth Local Government Conference shifted into working sessions today. The event brings together local government ministers and practitioners from throughout the Commonwealth. Gray says he is satisfied that the Bahamas can benefit from participating in such a conference.
As a country, I'm happy that the Bahamas has, in fact, joined the Commonwealth Local Government Association for the past 10 or more years. And the membership in that organization certainly provides us with the opportunity to learn from our brothers and sisters around the Commonwealth to how local governments exist and function in the various Commonwealth countries. And certainly it's a learning experience for me. And at the end of it all, I'm hoping that when I get back, I would certainly improve on my own ministerial responsibilities.
The local government delegation returns home this weekend. As thousands of young people prepare to graduate, one local human rights activist is concerned that limited job opportunities could create a challenge. He says the time has come for greater ingenuity when it comes to youth employment. Shashina Roll reports.
Former principal and human rights activist Joe Darville says his last 10 years as principal at the Grand Bahama Catholic High School was the hardest, as he witnessed hundreds of young people graduate with no job to go to. Noting that everyone cannot go off to college, he's calling on the government to create new means of employment before thousands graduate in just a few weeks.
It is reprehensible. In fact, it is criminal for us as a community, and I'm including myself, for us to put young people out there without anything definite for them to do. What we're doing, we're setting them up to fail. We're setting them up to become pariahs upon society. We are setting them up to fail and to turn back onto society. If they will not be able, because of the economic conditions, to help to build our community, they will tear it down.
Darville says we will have a parasitic economy if the country continues to depend on tourism. He adds that the government must be more creative and get back to basics by using the sea and land to support the Bahamian people.
70% of our islands are made up of crown land. This land should be available to our young people where we can put them into some productive ways of supporting themselves, utilizing the land, the soil, the water, and the sunshine that we have. God has given us an incredible gift of land, sea, and climate. We are not using it. We are absolutely not using it. We can today, as a result of criminal activity or major storms, we can lose that connection with our tourist industry.
With the thousands of young people now without jobs, he believes agriculture and fishing will provide a way out for those seeking employment.
I've recommended, for example, that you take 25 or 30 experienced farmers in this country and you give them about 45 or 50 young men and young women, and you give them the instruments, the machinery, etc., to begin to till the land, we would see an incredible, beautiful country.
He is making this appeal.
All of these brilliant minds in the House of Parliament, some who have been my former students like Obie Wilstrom, Mrs. Martin, and a couple others, they have that enthusiasm, they have that sense of compassion and passionate, I think, what we may call concern for the people. Now come up with something definitive, some action plan.
Shoshana Rule, ZNS Network News.